What's up, YouTube? It's your girl, Dee. Welcome back to the channel. Thank y'all so much for tuning in once again. So I'm back with another reaction video. So Shannon Sharpe, in a recent interview, basically admitted that he probably missed out on some great relationships, and he'll tell you why in this particular video. So I want to give my 2 cents and give my thoughts and react to what he had to say. Definitely chime in the comments below. I want to hear what your thoughts are on this. Can you relate to what he's saying? If you can, let me know in the comments below. So we're gonna go ahead and get into what he had to say, and I definitely want to hear your thoughts, so chime in. Let's get into it. Here we go.
I made the mistake that you make.
What?
I put work in front of everything, and I missed out on a lot of great relationships.
Would you rather be up and without a woman, or would you rather be with the woman and not as up as you are?
You want me to tell you God honest truth?
Yeah.
I'd rather be up, not up as much, and have somebody.
For real?
I do it.
But the thing is, I don't think you easy to get along with, because I ain't.
I'm not.
I need to be showered with love, but I know I need my space too.
Yes.
I need to.
Are you a Cancer?
Yeah, no, I'm a Virgo. Like, I might be the hardest person to be in a relationship with, and I'm totally understanding to a woman.
I mean, I've kind of let some of my my idiosyncrasies out, and people are like, oh, you do too much. I'm a neat freak. I'm a clean freak. Don't leave dishes in the sink. Don't turn the fan on when you take a shower, because I don't want you to fog up the mirrors. Hey, close the door when you go to the bathroom. Don't be passing gas in front of me. I can't do none of that.
I think, listen, you are who you are.
Oh my God.
Whether I think some of it is drastic or not, I think at least he's honest about it, and he's letting people know up front that, hey, this is who I am. This is what I expect. And, either you could roll with it or you can't. But at the same time, to me, in my opinion, y'all let me know your opinion in the comments. When you get to a certain age, and on top of that, he's successful. You know what I mean? He will be considered that top tier man that people are talking about. He's successful. He has money. He don't really need a woman, but he might want one. And even though he acknowledges that he may have missed out on good relationships because of his career and things of that nature, he is who he is. And the older you get, in my opinion, the harder it is for you to compromise on the things that you expect and the things that you like. And this goes both for men and women. It's hard, it's going to be harder the older you get and the more set in your ways that you become. It's going to be hard. And on top of that, you call the shots. It's going to be harder for anybody to be in a relationship with you, especially if they don't agree with the way you are. And even with all of that money, most women, there are certain things that they're not going to be able to deal with. They're not going to be able to deal with it. And this is why these types of men, they have, a bunch of women that they're just, sleeping with, a bunch of women that they're seeing in rotation. There's not a real significant other. There's not a real, wife, a woman who's in their life, substantially, somebody who's there because of who they are and their ways, and they're set in their ways, and they can't deal with anything outside of that. And that goes for men and women. When you become more set in your ways, the older you get, it's going to be very difficult for you to be in a relationship. When you've accomplished certain things and certain goals, and you've positioned yourself in a way to where you are comfortable, and you've created a certain lifestyle for yourself, and you have things the way you want them to be, it's very difficult to have anybody come in and disrupt that. You know what I mean? It's going to be difficult for you to take on somebody else's issues or who they are and how they move. Some people just don't want to incorporate. I mean, they don't know how to incorporate that into their lives. So it makes it very difficult for them to have a stable relationship with a person, because they are so entrenched in their own way and they're used to it and they don't want to change it. So this is why I always say, listen, if you can't find somebody that, you can grow with when you're younger, the older you get, it's going to be more difficult for you to do that.
Oh my God.
And this is why you find a lot of older, successful people single. And they're either some of the men are paying for the cooch, or they got a bunch of women that they just, spending time with and having a good time with and sending them on their way. And then there are a lot of women who also say too, I would like a man, but he got to live in a separate house. Or, you know what I mean? We can't sleep. We can't live in the same house, or we could be together, but not together. You just want the financial support, but you don't really want him there all the time, because you've created your own way of living, your own lifestyle, and you don't know how to incorporate a man. You're stuck in your ways. So I think, and once again, when you're younger, you're still trying to find your way. That person is still trying to find their way, and you kind of create your way together. So now what happens is, when you build a life with a man, y'all become accustomed to each other because y'all built a life together. So now you've created a livelihood together. So it's now y'all are on the same page. You get what I'm saying? Like, you know, you're used to the other person. You've become comfortable with each other. Y'all know each other, and y'all have had years to do that. So that's why a lot of times that works out, in my opinion, versus the older you get trying to establish a relationship. You want companionship, you want stability with a person, but you don't want the things that come with them. And that's what a lot of people don't like, especially the older you get. But let's continue.
Yo, I'm gonna be honest. You know my mama? I'm just with you. Yo, you might be my daddy, boy. You talking like this, boy. I don't do none of that shit, boy. You old enough to be my daddy. You 58, I'm about to be 40. And you could have had me at 18, boy. I can't have ain't everything that you said on that list, ain't no way. None. I can't rock with none of that. But it is some that's gonna be less of men that's gonna let they let their young lady defecate on themselves next to them. That's gonna do all the weird.
But wait a minute, why defecate? Where did that come from? Who's defecating on themselves in front of somebody? Like, that's a bit much, right? That's on the steep side. I don't think that should be acceptable. I'm just saying, like, I think once the longer you've been with the person and you love them, y'all get comfortable. But certain things, shouldn't happen. Now, there should be some types of limits. You know what I mean? But that's depending on your dynamics. Every relationship is not the same. Some couples are comfortable with certain things and others aren't. But that's where you find the person that works for you. But I think the older you get, the longer you wait to find that, it's almost impossible, because you're so entrenched in the way you like your stuff to be, the way you like your house to be, the way you are, and you just can't deal with somebody else in your space. So I just think, it's different strokes for different folks. Let's continue.
You know what I get? Everybody go to that's fine. I'm not saying she can't go to the bathroom. I just don't need to know.
Oh, never. Because I got so many bathrooms, there's no need for me to know.
Thank you.
You don't know when I'm going to the bathroom. I ain't throwing no PSA out when I'm going to the bathroom.
Yeah, look, you don't have to let me know we're bored in 5 minutes.
Exactly, okay, bro. But some people think that's love, and that's too ghetto for me. That's ghetto love. I ain't with that.
I'm good.
I'm straight.
See?
I might be 58. But you ain't doing it the way I do it.
How you do it?
If I'm going poly, I'm going full Neo.
You have more. So, not Neil got, I think, what, 3, 4?
Yeah. If I'm 58, why would I not go Leonardo DiCaprio?
I thought you were talking about Neo.
Both, but that's the black version. What you talking about, gang?
Nah, I don't know. The people.
All right. So, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What did you know who I like for you? Cheyenne Bryant.
There you go, man. There you go.
I seen the energy, gang. I watched that interview.
I'm friendly. I'm cordial to everybody. Every young lady that's been on the show. They said that about Cash Doll. They said that about
I ain't see that
Kiki.
in Cash.
They said that about Kiki Palmer. They said that, but
I seen some with Cheyenne.
They said that about Glow.
You know what it is, though?
What is it?
Just we such dominant men. We want to get to the bottom of that, just to let her know, like, you ain't.
No, I don't. I don't. Yeah, I think she's amazing. I think, and somebody's gonna be very, very fortunate to have that young lady.
What she look like in person?
She's like that.
Come on, cheers to that. Cheers, Doc.
Listen, I just think, you got to do what works for you. I do think that when it comes to successful women and successful men, they're kind of going to end up with the same issues. I think as much as successful women say, oh, they can do bad by themselves, they will not settle for a man, they end up lonely in the end. And, you have your success and your money, but you're by yourself. Same thing when it comes to successful men. Successful men, they are set in their ways. They want a certain way. If they can't find a woman who's going to be okay with that, I mean, they might be able to find a woman who will be willing to deal with their issues and things of that nature and be there for them. And if they're lucky enough to find that would be great. But oftentimes it's hard for them to find a woman that will be everything that they want, plus be okay with how they are. And once again, the older you get, the harder that becomes, whether you have money or not. And I think specifically for the ones with the money, because, you can go out and you can, women will, sleep with you and you have options for that. But as we see, a lot of these young women are only using these men for something they can get out of them. They don't really want to be your wife, or, maybe a wife, because if they, if you ain't signing no prenup, maybe they can take you for some money. But other than that, they trying to get a quick payday out of you. They don't really want to be with you for real. And so what happens is you end up old and successful, but by yourself, you know, and you know, while I do think there are a few people out there who are truly successful by themselves, I think the majority of them are not. Because if we go back to what Shannon said, you know, he would rather be, you know, down with a, you know, a woman. He would rather not have as much success, but have a good relationship. I think he was real with that. I think he was honest about it. But then you go back to, being set in your ways and what you don't like, and you focus on that, and you don't think that you could ever, you know, really get past that or find somebody who would be fit in your world, and then you end up, you know, being by yourself. And I remember Monique said, you know, he should settle down with a woman and just, you know, be good with that. I agree, but at the same time, if you don't think in that way, it's going to be difficult for you to actually do that. How you think is how you move. If you think that you can't deal with somebody over these little small things, I think the things that a lot of people mention, going to the bath, that's really minuscule. Y'all know we all got to die, right? And so I just think a lot of times either these men have given themselves to somebody and loved the person who didn't love them back, and it scarred them, and now they're just very jaded when it comes to relationships. And this could go for women as well, and they don't know how to trust, and they don't want to give themselves to somebody else to get taken advantage of. I think a lot of it is fear, that a lot of men and women are fearful of loving somebody because they got hurt before. And so now they're putting all these guards up to keep them from that place, because it's just a level of fear that they're not willing to admit to because they've been hurt in the past. So, you know, I just think, once again, I always recommend to people this: when you're younger, if you can find that person that wants to be with you, you want to be with them, and y'all have goals together, y'all want to build together, do that. And get all the therapy and the, you know, counseling that you can, and understand that a relationship is not perfect. That understand that people are not perfect, that y'all are both flawed. And if you really want to make it work, you can. But the truth of the matter is, do you really want that? Because whatever you want, that's where you put your energy to. So listen, I'm gonna leave it here. Y'all let me know what y'all think about what he had to say. That is it. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.
DeeDee's Reactions. Tell a friend, it's DeeDee's Reactions. It's DeeDee's Reactions. DeeDee's Reactions. Later.